And hello there, and welcome to this session. We're going to be taking a look at pathways to becoming a sustainable oil company. I'm Eithne Treanor, and I'm going to be with you for this session. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome the Chief Technology Officer from ADNOC, Alan Nelson. Thanks for joining us, Alan.
Thank you. It's good to speak with you today.
Now, talk to us about sustainability. When we look particularly at ADNOC, sustainability comes under your portfolio, the Chief Technology Officer. We've heard a lot about sustainability and about technology, right throughout the day. But talk to me about, energy companies staying competitive and profitable. Is technology the way forward?
So I oversee corporate sustainability at ADNOC in my role as Chief Technology Officer because addressing climate change in a meaningful way will require significant technological change, and I would say a much deeper change than many people realize. To put it differently, when we look at the movement towards environmental sustainability, this will only succeed to the extent that we develop new sustainable technologies and innovations. And today, there are many technologies being developed and discussed, and even technologies that are being promised. But the hard truth is that many are still far too expensive or immature in their development cycle. And so to solve this, we need to double down on our innovation investments and our innovation activities across the entire energy spectrum, from energy efficient and responsible hydrocarbon production to the development of future energy sources, such as hydrogen and future fuels.
Really, there's so much going on, and particularly in ADNOC, and we hear so much about the great work you're doing when it comes to innovation. But give us maybe an example or two in terms of what you're doing at ADNOC to make sure that you're on the leading edge of sustainability.
So at ADNOC, we're very proud that we're leading the industry across a number of metrics. And one metric is leading the industry in reducing methane emissions. This has been part of our business strategy since ADNOC was founded. We're also an industry leader when it comes to CCUS, or carbon capture, utilization, and storage. And today, we have the capacity to capture and utilize 800,000 tons of CO2, primarily for enhanced oil recovery. And we're increasing our CCUS capacity to 5 million tons per year. We also have a number of other initiatives to reduce our freshwater intake and improve our overall water usage efficiency across our entire operational footprint.
Now, of course, a lot of what you're talking about too, a lot of it on the upstream and the midstream, which we can all maybe understand, but talk to me also about the downstream, because ADNOC is, such an integrated company.
Yeah, we have a very focused effort in downstream alike. And one of our focus areas is improving the efficiency of our operations. And over the past year alone, we've improved our overall efficiency by 15%. And higher efficiency translates into lower emissions. But we're not stopping there. We had great progress last year, but we're not stopping there. We also recently installed a waste heat recovery unit, which is further going to reduce our future power needs and associated emissions. We also launched an aggressive program to produce and install non-metallic pipelines, which will help us both reduce costs and be more sustainable in terms of less corrosion issues and lower fugitive emissions. And additionally, as I mentioned, we're researching and investing in future energies such as hydrogen, ammonia, and sustainable fuels.
Yeah, there's so much going on. And I suppose when we look at the current energy mix, and also we look to the future, I mean, oil and gas certainly in everybody's outlooks is part of, the future energy mix, but also that responsibility there to provide reliable, safe, affordable energy to the world. Where do you see the role of the oil companies, the overall mix in the future?
Yeah, I would start by saying there's no question that we're in the midst of an energy transition. And all oil and gas companies, ADNOC as well as everyone else, really need to think strategically about how to manage their portfolios, how to manage their investments, and how to manage their overall strategies. One aspect, though, that I just want to draw attention to that's often discussed today is this concept of peak oil. And for me, I think the concept of peak oil is somewhat misleading. If you look closer into some of the most serious future projections, you'll find that oil demand will continue to increase for some time. And then we'll go through a period that's probably best characterized by a broad plateau, and then likely a slow decline over many decades. So we believe there'll be a growing oil market for many more years, and ADNOC will have a leading role to play in this market. But this does not mean it's business as usual for us or for the industry. To stay competitive in the current and future oil markets alike, will have to be leading on cost efficiency and equally leading on carbon efficiency.
And of course, technology is going to play a big role in that. So let me come back to that focus again. Digitalization, artificial intelligence, all of that, how is it playing out in terms of sustainability? And also when we look at, what you're doing at ADNOC, the Panorama Center that you have in place there, it's state-of-the-art operations for you. Tell us more.
We are an innovation company, and we continuously drive innovation and seek new and advanced technologies that can enhance operational efficiencies and optimize our end-to-end performance. And the Panorama Digital Command Center is a great example of how we're accelerating our digital transformation. Through this center, we're using tools such as artificial intelligence and machine learning and digital twins and blockchain and big data models, all of these tools and capabilities to help us streamline our entire value chain and ensuring that our operations are optimized for energy usage, emissions, and costs. Through Panorama, and I was just going to add, if I may, through Panorama, we're also in the process of implementing one of the largest predictive maintenance projects across the entire oil and gas industry. And last year, we also signed a joint venture with Group 42 to create and deploy artificial intelligence solutions for both ADNOC and the overall oil and gas industry. So technology is certainly at the core of what we do.
And of course, they will also introduce efficiency, effectiveness, and indeed help the environment. Talk to me a little bit about the very ambitious targets, that ADNOC has, especially the industry looks at, the SDG goals and looks at climate change.
So let me start off by saying we fully support the UN Sustainability Development Goals, and our sustainability strategy that we launched last year and our 2030 sustainability targets that we launched last year as well are fully aligned with the UN SDGs. And I can give you just a couple of examples. When we look at economic and social contribution, for example, we've delivered over $20 billion back into the local economy through our in-country value program. For workforce diversity and development, we've appointed 3 women CEOs across the ADNOC group of companies. From health and safety and security standpoint, last year alone, we completed and performed over 700,000 COVID tests on our employees and contractors. Around climate and emissions and energy, we've achieved 90% flaring reduction since our inception as part of our zero routine flaring commitment. And we continue to strengthen our performance and position as one of the lowest carbon intensive oil and gas producers worldwide.
And indeed, long may that continue. But before we close, just talk to me. Obviously, we look at the national oil companies, international oil companies. Do you have to become a sustainable oil company? I mean, is there no choice? Is it the social pressure? Is this what you're responding to? Or can it make economic sense? And can you do both in parallel?
So for me, the simple answer to that question is absolutely. The way I see it, though, is that sustainability and profitability are often portrayed as opposing strategies. But the simple truth is that sustainability is good for business. For example, through our technology initiatives, we're not only one of the most sustainable oil and gas companies, we've also created significant value through our efficiency programs by utilizing less energy. No oil and gas company will be competitive in the future if they don't take sustainability seriously and put it at the center of their strategies and at the center of their business models. And to be clear, this trend and the push towards sustainability is well beyond social pressures today. And it'll be vital for our economic performance going forward. And for me, as a CTO, I believe that the solution to this challenge will be through technology and innovation.
And indeed, you have to pull all of this together and make sure that you're combining, the day job, the wider focus, academia, the environment, all of that. And a big challenge. And it's great to have you on board here and great to have this time to actually talk to you. So Lots to play for, lots to work at. But of course, I think ADNOC can maybe set the targets and set the bar for other companies around. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely. We welcome the challenge and we welcome the opportunity.
Super. Well, thank you so much, Alan, for taking the time. I know it's a busy time. Chief Technology Officer there from ADNOC. We're delighted that you've joined us. Alan Nelson, thank you so much.
Thank you.